we've got us a door down here, and you get your table, and you want some kind of support under the table so you don't cut into your, you don't want to cut into your table. Piece of sheetrock, piece of cardboard, anything, because you want your door to sit flat so that when you cut the inside of your panel out, your panel doesn't drop, and as your router's running along, your router doesn't tip and then snipe out the inside edge of your door where you're going to put the molding. Alright, the next thing you do, you get your pieces, and I usually use 1/2 inch thick MDF. And we've got 4 inch. Now usually the width on the side of the door that comes right down in here, it's usually 4 1/4. So we've got some long links. As you can see, that run down the whole length of the door. Put these on the side. You need 2 long ones. Then you're going to need some shorter ones, and you can usually just cut these off. This will be for the top. And as you can see, I've drilled and countersunk some holes, so when our screws go in here, we just go through it, and when we're through, we back them out. These templates are good over and over and over. Right? That would go at the top. You got your middle one. Most of your middle rails on those 2 panel doors, usually anywhere from 7. I mean, I've had them where they've been 7 1/4 up to 9 1/2. And the same way with the bottom. You know, there's one that goes at the bottom. On a 2 panel door, you got one that goes in the center. So you'll need 2 of these, and you'll just have to, you know, cut them as you need them. And you can, you know, if you want to do this, if you want to do, you know, some of these for profit, well then you need to keep all these around because you'll be using them over and over and over. But anyway, we have one for the bottom here. We have one for the middle, and then one for the top. So we really got the top one, we got the middle one, and then we have the end one. And then of course we have the 2 sides. And now on the sides, what you want is you want to make sure you come right to your edge. You want to figure out where your edge is, come right to it. Make sure you go the whole length of the door. And then you want your others to set right up against the edge, wherever. You'll have to locate this where it goes. So you'll have a door, or you'll have some measurements off a door where you can do them yourself. You can get where these are located. Usually it's like 21 inches, 23 inches for the bottom. Top is usually whatever's left over, 44. Whatever the case may be. Like I said, I've ran into 3 different styles of 2 panel doors. All the 1 panel doors all seem to be the same. You have like a 9 inch bottom, 4 1/4 top, and a 4 1/4 sides. The 2 panels are the only ones that vary a little bit. And you can make 2 panel, you can make 3 panel, you can make 4 panel, and you can make 5 panel doors out of these things. And they still stay pretty strong. And it'd be best, you know, if it's going to be a lot of traffic, you want to get you a good door. So make sure that when you buy one, you don't skimp on the price if it's going to be a well-traveled area. If it's going to be like a closet, something like that, you definitely want a good door. If it's going to be like a storage room or something off the side of the house, or a bedroom door that's never going to be closed, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, you know, you don't need that quality of a door. Okay, we're going to screw these down and get ready to, and then I'll get ready to show you how the router works on this. I usually use 1 1/4 screws because they seem to grab pretty much as well as anything. You can use some really small finish nails too. They leave a lot smaller hole in the door, easier to patch. Okay, on your router, just whatever router you've got. Of course, you've got the collet that gets screwed in here to where you have this, the edge of the collet that rides against your material, which is going to be your guide, this material which is going to be your guide for this to rub up against. And then you have the router bit up inside. And get your instructions that came with your router, and it'll show you how to hook it up and set it up. And you want to make sure it's right before you start this, because once you get started and if something comes loose, this thing could slip. Next thing you know, you've dug into your guide, and you have to make a new guide, get a new door. We go right on down the list. Anyway, on the back side, then you want just a piece of whatever thickness your guide is. 1/2 inch, you want 1/2 inch. You got 3/4, you want 3/4 for this. So whichever one you have, make sure this is exactly the same. And the reason you do this is because if you didn't have it, what would happen is the edge, the gap that you have from the bottom of the router to the inside of your door, the router would try to dip down. And as it's dipping down, then as you can see, as it's dipping down, you're digging in to the bottom edge. You're digging, as it's running along, and you're dipping into your edge of your door. And this keeps it, as you can see, this keeps it from doing that. In other words, it can't dip with this on here. If you didn't have that on there, then this thing could dip down. Okay, you need this because what this does, it keeps it from dipping. As you're running along, you've got this space. You got this space under here. And your router would dip, and as it's dipping, it would be digging in to the back side of your door, and you don't want that. So what I do, and a router is, you're not going to ruin it because there's enough holes in it already, is I've just drilled, of course in this particular case, I just drill 3 holes in the router and go through the base so that I can mount that on there. And the only reason I do 3 screws is because 1's okay, 2's better, and 3 is going to give me a little extra security of this thing coming loose on me. Okay, now we're ready. So what are we going to do? We're going to set up and we're going to run and cut the inside of this panel out. Okay, you want to make sure you have your dust mask, safety glasses, and whatever else you need. Gloves would be good. This stuff really does start flying. Okay, I can't say much anymore, so from now on, you're just going to have to watch.